Hey, it's Veronica again, doing another sketchbook tour. This is my latest sketchbook, the one I'm really excited about. I just loved everything I did in it. Um, yeah, so grab a drink of water or your arting tools and just relax. Look through my sketchbook with me.
Okay, who knows what number sketchbook we're on, but this is a Castle Arts sketchbook. See, 100 sheets. It says premium paper with a versatile, erasable, and smudge resistant surface to take a variety of dry media. And what does that mean? The paper soaks up wet media, weirdly, as you can see with this watercolor. It's very. Let me get a little closer. Scratchy. It's very scratchy, but excellent for dry media. Um, and I really like the sketchbook because it was so cheap and there's 100 sheets and the paper's not the best. I don't know. I work better. I produce more work when I work in shitty or not great quality sketchbooks. This is medium quality, I'd say. I'm rambling. I took some pain medication half an hour ago. All right. This started in July. Is that number 7? Yeah. July. Uh, I was like inking and trying to vary my line quality here, and then I was still in my peach and paint gray stage. Hello there. And then I was just doing some doodles. Okay, here we have a blind contour that you can't see very well. And the next date for that is, what's 9? September? So as you can see, there was like a 2-month break. I think I was in another sketchbook at the time. This, you can't even tell what it is, but it's the chair in the garden. I was doing some like morning meditation and sketching for a few days. I thought that was great. This, I think I was doing, what was I doing? I was working on something else and I needed some paper to just try some stuff on. Uh, Not great for wet media. It does bleed through. But here, this is page 1 of my flurry of artistic stuff. I was working on compositions. So I do a lot of abstract work that, do I have any here? That's not a good example. This is an okay example. Right, so I've just got like a blob in the page, right? And I just let the ink and the water do whatever they want, and then I'll add details over this later. So here I was just working on composition ideas, and I was using a very dark pencil, I think a 4B, maybe a 6, and I really loved the way it flowed on this paper. This was a 1 line, and I drew these like weird, I don't even know, bug fairy things. I loved this series. I was just really enjoying the way the ink and this brush, the way it took up the ink and skated across the paper. It made these interesting little designs here. I was adding pencil embellishments. I was having a great time. Over here, I was trying out this vellum paper that I bought. I was seeing, what it looked like with glue under it, what it looked like over watercolor. Um, I was trying stuff out. I really like the swatch over here though. Lovely. Okay, more composition work. I didn't really follow up with this idea, but I thought it was the bee's knees at the time. I was like, oh my god, you take a section, right, of some other painting, put it on the paper, and then draw it. It was like a collage drawing exercise, I guess. Here it is. Here it is, the beginning of my favorite part of the sketchbook. These weird space worm demons. I don't know. So much fun. Okay, so let's remember January 31st is when I started these, and I was just pumping them out, just poof, 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 poof. Same day, really just refining them. Look at these two, they're so cute. They've got these little feelers, they've got this eyeball. it was kind of like I was reminded of tardigrades and um, those insects that like curl around themselves, like roly polies, but big. Tardigrades meets roly poly. And I named them temporary name is anxiety worms. Um, right, so that was just 2 days. Okay, more one line portraits. I really love one line blind portraits. So you draw the person without looking down at your page, and they're talking and they're moving. So there's a lot of movement, but I like it because it kind of captures the essence of the person. And then there's just like interesting design things that happen. Like I definitely wasn't looking at the page when this happened. This right here. This right there, but it looks so cool. I love it. More of my anxiety worms. Making them is just so peaceful. I would just like do the initial like blob shape with a pencil, a light touch, and then refine them later. But I was combining the free form of the initial part of the drawing with the final form, and I was just loving it. I was loving it. Now, all of these pages do have to be sprayed. Not sprayed, this stuff smudges very much. So I use workable fixative. I like what's going on here. Super weird. Okay, then I started mixing in color, and I was thinking complementary colors. Are blue and orange complementary? Yellow and purple, blue and orange, yes. And then here, I love what's happening. I love what's happening. It's so weird. So weird. And kind of reminds me of intestines. Okay, now is when I introduced my, I was gonna say liquid mediums, I guess. So watercolor, um, that like liquid acrylic, and then I added pencil on top to like refine it to uh, make it more concrete, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I liked it. This wasn't what I was looking for, but I liked the process. Here we've got a swatch page. It's double-sided. Am I going the right way? Woo! I'm like very dyslexic with directions. I'm always going right when I should go left, up when I should go down. This was a piece from another like group of sketches and experiments I was trying, so I just threw it in here. Okay, more of my wormies. Oh, the other thing, I'm not going on the other side very often because I wanted to be able to tear these out or put a light board under them so that I could trace them and move them to watercolor paper if I wanted to experiment more. Especially with these portraits because I just love them so much, and I kind of wanted to experiment with how they would look with like on watercolor paper with watercolor elements. So yeah, let me make a note of that. I definitely want to try that out. This is my neighbor. This is my Auntie Pat. Hi, Auntie Pat. Oh, more of them. I was really just enjoying these so much. I just bought the Kimberly 6B pencils, the ones that are green with the gold ends. I felt so fancy using them. And where's my? I can show you how much I used them. Oh, oof. What's in Veronica's art bag? Yeah, this guy he's done. He's almost dead. He's just a stubby stub. But they have these like gold caps on the bottom. Very cool. I kind of want to take a stubby when I get to the end and make a pair of earrings out of it. We'll see if I do that. Why not? I don't even have to sell them. I could just wear them because, like, yeah, I really like using a pencil or a pen to the very end. It feels like, I don't know, satisfying. Like I heard somebody saying that they liked hitting the pan in their makeup, like their pressed powder or their blush or whatever. And I didn't get it, but then I thought about it in terms of pens and supplies, and I was like, never mind, I do get it. I really like what's happening here. The way they're communicating, touching, the composition, love it. And I started to change the design a little bit. They've got longer tails. The tails get darker at the end, more eyeballs. And then I was thinking, how do they interact with each other? Are these two talking? Are they mating? What's going on? Love it. Same here. Maybe they're communicating this way. I love these little drippy drips. This little drippy drip right here. Like, is it feet? Is it antennae? What is it? Who knows? Love it. This one, what a great composition. I love this. Like, this is erupting off the top and the spaces. And then I started painting the eyeballs dark and they were much creepier. Same here. Same here. And I thought about big ones, small ones. Is this a family? What's going on? I don't know what happened here. I think I like lost. So I have this thing where if I work, I have to work while the inspiration is upon me. However, if I push too far and keep going when I think creative side of my brain is tired, the the magic is gone. Uh, this one's two-headed, creepy. Um, this one has three heads, and I don't know. I love it. I love it. It's so creepy. Yeah, three heads. Although now that I'm looking at it on the camera, it does kind of look like an like a ball sack. Hmm. Okay, here. Oh yeah, if you wanted to know how this paper took wet media, here's a good example of it not doing an excellent job. Really wrinkles the paper. But once again, that's not really what I'm looking for in a sketchbook. Like I don't need it to be able to take everything I throw at it. It just needs to, be a place where I can work on ideas and then I work more on better paper afterwards. This one, oh, I love it. See, it's my favorite. I said it right there. Let's see. I was working with complementary colors, the purple and the yellow, and then I was like highlighting the edge of the yellow in orange. Kind of working with color and temperature and sound and light. I don't know. I love it. Oh, I was trying out different background ideas. Right. So I liked them with plain white background, but I wanted to see what would happen if I made background. So this is just a, a light wash of ink. This is ink, like a fully saturated ink with the outline being a colored pencil. So I wondered what would happen if I mixed those two mediums together. Um, I don't know. It gets a little scratchy looking over in that corner. So the scratchiness of the colored pencil up against the smoothness of the ink. I wasn't sure how that was reading. This one is just all ink background, watercolor border on the space slug or whatever these are. I liked it, but it was hard. That I didn't like. This is my Uncle Butch. We were on vacation and I just had a lot of opportunity to draw my relatives and people and stuff, and it was a great time. Um, then at this point, I started to think, what is the world they live in? What is their environment? So I thought about them in this landscape, right? So they're floating above. There's some kind of liquid down here, and then there's these things that they're eating that they feed off of. And I thought about it in an oceanic kind of way, like how some animals feed off seaweed. So I was thinking of this as like a cosmic seaweed. But when I thought about it more, I thought about what if these are souls? So I started to think about energy and how where does that energy go when we die? And if no energy is ever created or destroyed, does that mean that there's a place where the energy of our souls is then processed, digested by the universe, basically? And so I thought about these being the souls, right? And they're being recalibrated, they're being digested. So when they first get there, they're closest to where we were right before we died. And then through the process of digestion, our souls become clean and that energy is allowed back into the system. And this is just me drawing that small little thing on the previous page more blown up. I really liked what happened here. It was just so much fun to draw this. And then I love where it went. Sometimes when I'm drawing, it feels like the art is drawing itself. That's a good example of this. However, this is a good example of what happens when I keep going when I've lost the inspiration. See how it doesn't have that life that the other ones had? That weird, creepy whimsy? For some reason, this one looks like a beluga whale to me, kind of. Or like a squid head. And then I was thinking, oh, it's a mom and a baby. So cute, little baby. I was drawing from life for the first time in a long time. And as you can see, shit-tastic. This is why I'm an abstract artist. But I had a really good time doing it. Drawing from life can be stressful for me because I don't practice it enough and I'm not like, good at it. But when I'm doing it, it's super meditative. Pulls me straight out of my mind. I love this one. This is Pam. She's like a friend of the family. I just love it because it doesn't look like her, but it feels like her. This one especially. This doesn't look like Mark, but it feels like Mark. This is Teresa. Hey, Teresa. This is my uncle. Okay, then I was explaining or showing my sketches to my Aunt Ray, and she was like, what were you inspired by? And I was like, tardigrades. And she's like, what's a tardigrade? And I showed her this video. I think I'll link it. And it talks about tardigrades, and they're so freaking cute. So their eyes are each single cells of singular ocular cells, and those are their eyes. They're so freaking cute under the microscope. Oh my goodness. Mark again. Oh, I'm sorry that it gets jiggly. My camp table that I do this on is just not the sturdiest. I said mole rat tardigrade. I agree. It is a mole rat tardigrade. Okay, more of the same. I was thinking that these might be like the souls as they decompose. Not decompose. Get cycled back. Yeah. But this is the little guy again. I don't know what was happening here. No idea. Like, why is the whole page blank? What happened? This is my Aunt Nancy. Now, this doesn't look like her or feel like her, but you see how one eye is open and one eye is closed? That's because as I drew, she was moving, blinking, all that kind of stuff. So I like that about these blind, one-line portraits. Pat. Yeah, that doesn't look or feel like Pat. See, I think I pushed myself too far. I don't know what's happening here. Mark again. More of my soul munchers. Oh, this is my cousin Brandis and her baby. Just a baby's head and a little hand. And then this is Brandis. She's so pretty. In real life, not like, I'm not saying that this is beautiful. It's not the best, but gorgeous. Oh, another random blank page. Oh, yeah. So this one is like a family of them, and I was thinking like the children would be the complementary color of the parents. A swatch page. I love them. I love them so much. I don't think anybody else loves them as much as me. Oh, look at that color. That is the peacock blue from Mijello. I don't know how to spell it. It's like Miejelllo, I want to say. I'm totally wrong. More blank page. Okay, this, I was starting to work with compositions because I was moving on from my creepy tardigrade things and heading back toward just my abstractions. So here we are in abstract stuff. I'm working on compositions, I'm testing stuff, I'm testing mark making too, because I was like interested in how my different paintbrushes could create different marks. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, and then also pencil. Now, my favorite over here is this guy. Love it. Um, the orange is colored pencil, so it's this is watercolor paper. This is watercolor and acrylic ink mixed with water. I know it's kind of crazy how much crap I'm doing. So I would put the blobs or splobs, it's like a spot and a blob, the splobs on different parts of the page, right? And then once I cut them out of the larger page or whatever, once they were dry, I thought about how I could add to the composition. And I was thinking about these orange lines, definitely still working in the complementary color kind of range. More composition studies, ideas. I don't know if you can see that very well. Composition study ideas. I don't know who that is. Who is that? Why did I write that name down? Who knows? Swatch page. I was really working on mixing this neon that I have with the regular colors. And then I'm writing down what I did and how I got there because I didn't always do that. And it's not a good idea. So this is a different type of paper, but I love how it interacted with this medium. And I'm writing down goals, what the colors were. Here's a composition. And then this is the final product, which I loved so much. Let me get it closer. So you too can love it. Love it so much. Okay, more composition ideas. My note to myself is to let go of perfection. I think that's, we should all do that. I was trying to tone the paper I have to be closer to this off-white. I find I like working better on off-white than on that cool white with the bluish kind of tint to it. I don't like it as much. And it could just be that I'm like used to this off-white from this sketchbook. But like the Canson mixed media paper, which is this paper that I'm working on, I just bought a huge, ginormous roll of it. It's white. It's a different type of white. I don't know if you can see. It's a different type of white. Although I gotta say, this isn't as blue white as the ream of it, as the roll of it that I bought. It could be because it's old, like that's an old sketchbook. Maybe it yellows over time. Okay, so then this is the toned paper with the splobs on top. I was checking out how they reacted. I toned it with like this peachy watercolor color. I don't know, but I do like what I was doing here. This movement that's happening. Oh, and I bought a glass dip pen for the first time. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I bought it because I wanted to see if I could do these designs, but instead of in colored pencil, they'd be in either watercolor ink or liquid acrylic. I'm saying that wrong. It's not liquid acrylic. What is it called? It's like super high flow acrylic. Oh, and then I had this idea for a different composition, so I wrote it down. This is these designs with a black background and using the glass dip pen. I loved it. I loved it so much, and I continue to do that later. Oh yeah, so this is India ink in the background, and I was trying to use the acrylic black ink later. I still don't know which one I like most. Just working on that design. Same complementary colors. Here we go again. I really love this for some reason. Not sure why. Okay, here we go. Now I started working on both sides because the art was arting, and I was like, I need all the paper. These are mainly just swatches, mark making. I was really just having a good time with the glass pen and seeing what marks I could make. Had an idea, wrote it down. I was watching a YouTube video, and or maybe it was a TikTok. I don't know. But anyway, this person had this painting in their background of their video, and I love the color combination. It was this orange with this greeny blue, and but the orange on the painting in that person's video was like more brown, more dingy. But anyway, I took those colors and I thought of a design. Um, do I like it? No, but I liked that I jumped on the inspiration when it was happening. Oh my god, I drew these freaky little things after watching this movie on Hulu. I think it's called Come True. So crazy. You gotta watch it. It's the most disturbing dream sequences I've ever seen. They were really on point for their like disturbingness. As someone who has nightmares a lot, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, they got it. They captured that feeling. Like you're like, whoa, that was scary, but also, why was that scary? Oh, I was thinking about putting my designs or my paintings on fabric. I've been wanting to do that forever. To make scarves, to make head wraps, to make scrunchies, to make, whatever. Ooh, swimsuits I thought would be good. Not necessarily with the artwork that I'm doing in this notebook, but yeah, I don't have any of the artwork that I'm thinking of right now. Hang on. Hang on. Here we go. This is it. Okay, I was in a colorful phase at a certain point in my life, and I was drawing these, and I thought these would make cool fabrics. Maybe not that one, it's super weird. This one though, couldn't you see this on a swimsuit or a scarf, right? This one, am I right? Love them. Yeah, I guess I'll flip through these in another video. Describe how I got to where I ended up. All right. So yeah, then here I ended up back at that original idea from a year ago or so, and I was thinking of composition for fabric and trying to make my compositions more simple, so they would be easier to repeat. So one time I I took this migraine drug, Trudhesa, and it was the first time I had tried it, and it had a really weird reaction with me. Very strange. I think it was because I had taken like a blood thinner earlier in the day. It hit my bloodstream so fast. I almost passed out. My aunt and uncle had to carry me to my room. But on the way, I did kind of black out a little bit. But as I woke back up, like I could see sound. And this was what I saw while hearing my light. Like, you know how the electricity kind of has that hum? For whatever reason, during this migraine, I could really hear the hum. And because of the drugs and whatever was happening, I could see the hum. Weird. Yeah. I was thinking this could be blown up and put on someone's wall as like wall art. You know the wall art I'm talking about that you see on Pinterest all the time and whatnot. Another pattern idea. And here I'm really trying to work on my compositions again to make them more simple, more basic, more, I guess, minimal. Like, minimal. The words that are coming to mind are not appropriate. Here we go. This is the painting version of the pencil sketch. Had a good time. Had a good time. I had a good time with this size, and then I think I went up another size, and all the fun went away. I was like, oh, this is hard. Then I started making these. You can barely see them because I drew them in gray colored pencil. But it was super calming to make these. It felt very meditative. High flow. High flow acrylic. That's what it's called. So I got a set of transparent to go with my already set of opaque, I guess. And this is just me trying them out. I love the, don't ask me to say that, naphthol. Goodness. Red light. I love what it does, how it reacts with the water. This weird situation here. Love it. The phthalo blue and phthalo green were really cool, especially when mixed together. Loved them. All right, this is me again working on, more basic compositions. Those swirly swooshy lines I made earlier, but in color. I don't like them in color. No, I do not. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. It's weird though. I remember I was in a lot of pain while I was drawing this, and I had just taken some medication, and I just needed to like zone out. More pattern ideas. Just trying to. Okay. Now I went back to those ideas I was exploring earlier in the sketchbook about the souls, how they are digested by the universe. So they start out as a soul-shaped blob, like a person blob, right? And then over the course of their digestion, they're more like these coral things. More minimal design idea. I thought this would be a cute t-shirt. I thought this would be a cool tattoo. This is like the moon, right? And the horizon, and I wanted to make an opposite one with day, and I thought that would be, you know what? No one's gonna watch this video. I can just explain the whole thing. I thought it would be cool to have one on each forearm, right? One that's day and one that's night. And it was kind of this idea of when you're feeling, I have a lot of like anxiety and depression. And so when I'm depressed, I think, don't worry, this day will end. So the thought is about night, that night is coming, the day will end. When I'm anxious, I kind of fear, limited time, just limitedness. And I like to remind myself that another day is coming. Night, day, just different like attitudes towards the different things I'm dealing with. This was so much fun. I mixed this bluish greenish color from earlier that you've seen, and I wanted to see how it interacted with the neon watercolors that I have. And this paper is the Canson watercolor, I think. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure. I don't know. I like how these watery effects react differently with different types of paper. Oh man, this one. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, you can't even see it. I loved it. I love what happened there. So cool. I drew these, or I was working on these. I think, yeah, I filmed a video of it. We'll see which one of these goes up first. Yeah, so blobs now in their space. So, yeah, I guess I'll explain this too. When I was talking about soul calibration and like the digestion of souls, I was also thinking about energy, the universe, and how maybe we're, we think our world is so big, but it's so small when you compare it to the galaxy, which is so small when you compare it to the universe. And I thought about, well, what if the universe is a small world in someone else's like megaverse, and just worlds within worlds and with worlds? And so like each of these things moving through space and time is a world, but they're these blobs, they cause ripples in space, kind of. Then, totally switching up here, I had a totally different idea. I was having some complicated feelings, as I do, and I thought about what would it look like to draw the feeling. And so I started drawing these. And I thought that maybe I could have a series of like one complicated feeling, so one complicated abstract, every day of the year. And I could like, honestly, the only place I thought that this would be suitable, I guess, is like TikTok. Um, and then, making them every day would just kind of keep me accountable, help me make work when I don't want to make work. Oh, let me describe that complicated feeling. This one is can't sleep because you can feel your body hairs settling all over and it feels like spiders walking. Not relatable to many people, I'm sure, but that tends to happen when I'm having a migraine. Like my skin gets so sensitive, I can actually feel the hairs on my body settling. This one is depressed, but too tired for existential dread. This one is inspired but distracted. So I had a couple of days between drawing this one. How many days? 3 days. This one and this one. And you can see that I lost some of the magic. I feel like I lost some of the magic. But then, oh my God, I was like, what if the circular form in the middle is the same blobs I was making earlier? Yeah, love this. Freaking love them so much. I was working with kind of complementary colors here. This is just the black and white one, and I really like it. Orange and no, sorry, red and black, like a ochre yellow. It might be azo gold, actually. I'm not really sure. And gray. This one kind of looks like a heart, right? This one is tired but satisfied. And this is the last page, y'all. So this is, on Easter, my aunt and I dyed eggs. She was feeling really nostalgic, and she was like, well, why don't we just dye some eggs for Easter? That'll be fun. I was like, sure, man. So when we made the vinegar dye that you dip your eggs into, yeah, we had so much left over. And I was like, what would happen if I used it on paper? So that was that experiment. Don't love it, don't hate it, kind of in the middle. And then here's a bunch of these guys. Oh, freaking love them. I love them so much. Just more of that idea I was working on earlier. But I kind of like them because they look almost like chemical reactions, kind of. This one. That effect. I hope it's coming up in the camera. If I'm just showing you something blurry, I apologize. Really like this one. Really like that one. Oh, it's a baby picture of me with my cousin. All right, and that's the end. Now, the bulk of my work was done between the last day of January and now, which is April. Hope you liked it. Hope this wasn't too jiggly. God, it is so jiggly. I don't know how to fix that. I'll work on it. Hope I inspired you to pick up a sketchbook and just make whatever comes to mind. Even if your art is super weird, like my art is super weird, it doesn't matter. Make it anyway. Yeah. Have a wonderful day, everyone.